Hello and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. And this morning we are at Lightworks, which is this huge great big building at the back of us here, and I'm going to take you inside and we're going to go and have a look at what's happening and what's in store for the 2023 Blackpool Illuminations season. So it's all very exciting stuff. So make sure that you've subscribed, give this video a like if you enjoy it, make sure that you've hit the little bell for notifications, and don't forget to sign up for your email newsletter. Visit fylecoast.info/newsletter. This is everybody. Wave, ladies. Welcoming everybody to the event today. World famous Blackpool Illuminations. And this is Lightworks. It's quite an amazing place. It's quite an amazing space. So everybody's getting into position for today's press event and preview. So there's loads of people already starting to gather, and these are the new lights that we're going to be seeing out on the promenade this year. I realised there was a tableau to come because there's a big gap. There's a big gap on the seafront where obviously they're going to go. There's Lawrence there, look, doing his spiel. We'll be doing an interview with him later. I've not seen him for a bit.
Extraordinary new installations that will go on display when the lights are switched on the night of Friday, 1st of September. Just for today. Lawrence, over to you.
Thank you very much, Paula. Big round of applause for Paula. I mean, that was informative and glamorous at the same time. You all feel as if you're slightly scared of us. You can come closer. And the people that are hiding behind the bars there, like you're some kind of exhibit. I question that. I slightly question that. I'd like to just touch on a couple of things that Paula flucked up there, because actually 2023 is the beginning of something so special now in Blackpool. It's a vision that I think we at Lightworks have had for such an incredibly long time. But it is now beginning to happen, and that is the sense of a renaissance for the Illuminations. The Illuminations, never ever take the Illuminations for granted. It was an incredibly special thing for this town to do back in the 1880s. But it is still an unbelievably special thing for the whole country. In fact, for the whole world. And I think the fact that the Arts Council now have made us a national portfolio organisation shows that actually, as far as everybody out there is concerned, it's absolutely true that we here in Blackpool created the idea of a light festival, created the concept of people coming together to celebrate the moment when the lights start dimming, we start bringing it back. And technology, which is something that Paula mentioned, with all we're doing now with the 3D printing, with the huge machines. Do please go and have a look at some of our big machines. They are unbelievably sexy if you like a machine. But that is a celebration of a piece of Blackpool history, which is the fact that the people of Blackpool got together and raised the money for 3 Spitfires. Now, I mean, okay, 3 Spitfires. Does that make a difference? Actually, anyone that knows their history knows that that did make a huge difference, a massive difference. Those 3 Spitfires are such a symbol, a totem, an icon of what Blackpool does when it gets together as a community, as a body of people, to actually do something. And we're very proud of what we've done there. Yes, it's 3D printed, which is very colourful. Very 21st century. But it's going to look spectacular. It's about these 3 beautiful, extraordinary pieces of engineering, which is so man-made. There was nothing kind of sexy and technological there. It was all kind of little bits of wood and canvas and everything. But they are ascending as a kind of a banner above Blackpool to say to Blackpool, isn't it amazing when you all get together and do something special?
I'd like you to meet Michael, who is flight controller at Airfix.
Flight specialist.
Flight specialist.
Controller sounds a bit too posh.
Is that somebody else? Somebody else?
We have got a big controller, yeah.
And we've come to do this little interview in front of his fabulous new Airfix kit. So what are you looking forward to most about this?
Well, in all honesty, because the brand is so iconic and it's such a proud thing to work for the brand, it's seeing the logo that we care so much about up in lights, and to have it as part of the Illuminations. But in truth, we can't really take a lot of credit for this fantastic display, because Lawrence has done all the work with that. The association with us is when he was deciding how to display them, he thought it looked like an Airfix model stand, so then we were involved. And what we've done is we've sponsored the event, and we're actually producing an exclusive model kit that's only going to be available from Blackpool through the tourist board. So
fabulous. So you can only buy it at the TIC?
Yes, or on their website.
Or on the Visit Blackpool website.
Yeah,
wonderful.
And it's a special edition. It's actually the one that's missing. So it's Progress 2. It's one of the presentation Spitfires that the Blackpool community actually funded during the Second World War. And it's got new artwork, so it's completely different to anything else in the Airfix range, and it should be really spectacular.
Wonderful. I knew you were doing a limited edition plane, but I didn't realise that you could only buy it in Blackpool.
Yes, so everybody needs to come to Blackpool for the kit.
Everybody needs to come to Blackpool for their Airfix plane. So there's another one to go in the middle here, and this is the one that you'll be able to buy in the TIC. Not that size, I might add, or you might struggle to get it onto your mantelpiece.
And an incredibly powerful story behind it, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, well I could probably be here all day telling you about the story, because well, that's my dad's ice cream bar for starters, you know, and my dad actually established the ice cream trade in Liverpool with a lot of the Indian community who came over from Punjab. So my dad's a bit of a legend actually, so he set the ice cream community up in Liverpool. And then when I was doing the Tate Britain facade, I thought I'd put an ice cream van on the Tate Britain facade, because there's always a van outside Tate Britain. This is COVID, so everything's closed. But when I see this van here, which is a bit like the one on the Tate, this is 10 times better, because it's just
you heard it here.
Magnificent.
Blackpool made it better.
Fylde Behrman, that's my surname, and I am here really because I had an exhibition at the Grundy Gallery, a solo show that was also to do with lights, and I covered the pillars and steps. Anyway, it was collage and light. And then I got to meet Phil and the team to do it this place, and they wanted me to do something to do at Blackpool, and they took my Netflix car, and then I think they approached me and said, could we do a tableau? And I knew what that was, obviously, and I just gave Phil as many drawings I could that were on my phone, because I was only there for an afternoon. I was up for a meeting, and but little did I know it was going to turn into this. I knew what a tableau was,
But you didn't expect that big?
I didn't expect it this big. I didn't expect things to flash. I didn't expect them to move.
It's fabulous. It's really bright and colourful. I love that.
Yeah.
And I love the ice cream van.
Yeah,
Of course, where you've got your
my
car.
dad's ice cream.
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
My dad's ice cream man.
Yeah.
It was like the
Brilliant.
type at the top. And obviously the inspiration is basically all my childhood. I mean, aren't I lucky
Aren't
to
you?
have had a dad who's ice cream man?
Aren't you?
Who brings all these beautiful things.
But it's so
to-
Blackpool.
And that's just like what would you call it? Like I don't know, serendipity, you know?
Yeah.
And also
Fit.
yeah.
And Blackpool is the one place, as you say, the one place in the United Kingdom that still holds true to that concept of light. Everywhere else down south is too busy doing their down south stuff. But then they've suddenly realised that actually what's going on up here is super powerful.
The making of a new icon here, that's the...
Do I look like a slightly overdressed Statue of Liberty?
Well, actually, yes.
Little more of
Statue of Liberality.
a little more of a pause, I think. Little more of a pause. That's better. So this is the big tableau that's been designed by Sheila Kumari Singh Burman, who was the lady that was speaking so eloquently about Blackpool. She's definitely in our camp when it comes to a passion for this amazing town. Lolly's in love with light. I like a bit of alliteration. You've just seen Lawrence introducing this year's display, and I'm going to take you round here to have a look at the super duper fabulous Airfix kit. They're astonishing. I've got to say, I came round the corner and saw them and I went, wow, they're going to look really stunning. And of course everything's got to be built and specified and suitable for wind. It's a brand new Spitfire Airfix kit that you'll be able to buy in the Tourist Information Centre. And this is the Blackpool sign that's going up on the festival headland. And Lightpool, the seasonal event, from the 20th to the 28th of October. And in fact, you can just see some of the Christmas trees, look at the back of there. You just see them, they're the ones that they put out on the prom during the Christmas by the Sea festival. Amazing. Here's the lovely Lawrence.
Oh, thank you very much indeed.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
You always say the best line.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But no, I think that 2023. This is the first time we've had a press launch for a long time.
It is.
And what is lovely is that this is no hollow experience. This is an ability to be able to talk about some unbelievably exciting changes. I think in a way, the quietness over lockdown, the quietness over COVID has led to a consolidation for a lot of people, but us as well. It's meant that we've been able to absorb a lot of the new technologies, the 3D printer that we've got, the computer cutting machine, just even things like the Neon product, so that we can create illuminations on a much finer scale. Obviously scale has always been important, but I think, looking around, what we're doing now is the quality is absolutely exceptional. But also it's about, the one thing that I've longed for, collaborations, artistic, cultural design collaborations, to ensure that the illuminations aren't just about, licensed cartoon characters or products or computer games or whatever, boy bands. Actually, they are pieces of thoughtful art in their own right. And the Shakumar is such an incredible example of that, because this is a piece from an internationally acclaimed artist, work at Tate Britain, working there she is herself in the middle of it. And all too often when you use the term contemporary art to people, they roll their eyes and they think of sharks cut in half and challenging and difficult things. But it's not all that at all. And Shai's work is so personal, it's so reflective, it's so emotional. And here, it's a celebration of her experience of Blackpool, as a British Asian growing up in Blackpool with its, incredible, exciting, colourful diversity. So we've got something that feels very personal. But then we've got the Spitfire, which I've created and which we've got sponsored by Airfix. An amazing story. I mean, several years ago we had a Spitfire which we put on the Gin roundabout. Very quickly became known as Spitfire Island, which I think is hilarious. Google it now. But I wanted to make that a bit more iconic. So we were thinking about how we could do it, and we then had an ability to be able to 3D print. So what we decided to do was to do 3 ascending Spitfires in false perspective as a direct reference to the fact that during the war, Blackpool, like most towns, went about fundraising for the war effort. And the way that was then reflected was you bought Spitfire. So if you raised a certain amount of money, you got 1. Yep. Blackpool paid for 3. And of course, it's very easy now in 2023 to think, 3 Spitfires. But actually, 3 Spitfires would have made the difference, in something like the Battle of Britain. And also, Spitfires, I mean, this isn't Top Gun. This isn't stuff that it does its job for you. This is a piece of, engineering with an incredibly brave bloke in it that could die at any moment, but is entirely committed to defending and maintaining the way of life that we kind of now take for granted. But there's Blackpool, God bless it, in the war, everyone's so strapped for cash. There's no money around at all. But saving pennies to then pay for 3 Spitfires, Progress 1, Progress 2, Progress 3. So that is what we have now celebrated. That moment when actually Blackpool does come together. And when Blackpool comes together and works together, it can create something so incredibly positive, something that does make a difference. And it was lovely that Airfix have become so involved, and Airfix is so excited by this. And so what they've done is they've done a limited edition Blackpool Spitfire Airfix kit. So, you know, come and see the Illuminations on Switch On, come and see, Spitfire Island, and then get the Spitfire kit, take it home and build your own.
So will you be coming to the Illuminations this year?
I am very much coming to the Illuminations Switch On. There's a bit of a family debate at the moment about who else is coming. Some of the grandchildren are going, because we're now on 4. There are now 4 Llewellyn Bowen grandchildren. And all of whom, of course, my daughters, oh my goodness me, it's such an important part of their world, Blackpool. But now the grandchildren are getting very excited about it. Yeah. So, no, absolutely, I shall be here. It's a very important moment.
The Illuminations designers of the future.
They will be. Well, no, they are actually. Albion, who's 6, he's going to be 7 in October. He and I have designed a big new illumination for next year together.
Oh, fabulous.
So more on that for 2024.
You heard it here first. And that's it. That's the launch event for this year. But that's been lovely. That's been a really nice morning and always a really good event. Always one that I would definitely make sure I come to. So I hope you've enjoyed it. And until next time, we will see you again. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you've enjoyed this, give this video a like. And we'll see you soon. Bye for now.